Alright guys, what is up? My name is XIKIZOID and welcome back to Our Life Beginnings and Always. This is the second episode, so if you missed the first one, I will leave a card somewhere around the screen and also a link down in the description to the first episode, which was actually a stream. I do stream sometimes, so that's really fun. We had loads and loads of fun there. And basically, if you guys missed that and don't want to watch it, I'm gonna give you like a quick recap. We are a little girl, 8 years old around I believe, who lives in this beautiful beach town or city, very very small city actually, and that is very like tightly knit community. And we have a new neighbor, this kid here with the green hair and the glasses. He moved with his father over here in our little town, so now we met this little child as well with a blue cap, and basically we're supposed to make friends with each other. We're little children. This game has 3 different steps or chapters. One is childhood, the second one is teenagehood, and then adulthood finally, as far as I can like remember from the tutorial. So let's just continue, and we actually were going to the park where we were supposed to meet our big sister Lizzie. So when you found her, she was hanging in on the jungle gym, swinging back and forth. "Hey Lizzie," we say. Her face lit up when she saw you, her big brown eyes going wide. "Ziki, Shiloh," Lizzie says, and Shiloh says, "Hi." Okay, so she dropped to the ground and landed with a soft thud in the sand. In a split second, Shiloh had abandoned you two and scrambled over to stand by her. You were used to being left out when it was just the 3 of you, but now Cove was here. You wondered if he would leave too. "Oh, that's Lizzie. Oh my god, Lizzie's so cute. Oh my god, dude." "So who's that?" she says. And we introduce, or actually Shiloh introduces Cove. And he says, "It's Cove, he's new." "I remember. Hi, Cove. Welcome to my park. Nobody ever comes to play here, so this is where we get together." She gestured widely with her arms as if to present the area to the newcomer. Without interrupting Lizzie's speech, Cove whispered in your ear, quiet enough that the others wouldn't overhear. "I thought kids couldn't own places like parks or hills." You couldn't help but laugh a tiny bit, yeah. Because in the previous episode we met him on a hill by the beach, and he was asking us like, "Is this your hill? Am I interrupting you in something, you know?" So that's a really fun like little nod to the previous episode, I think. And just if you guys don't know, this is obviously a visual novel, but it's also fully customizable, like almost fully customizable. You can choose your favorite drink, you can choose your favorite like romance path, whether you want to have a crush on Cove or not, whether you want to have a crush on somebody else, as far as I know. So I'm super excited to play this game, I really am. And so let's just continue here, and while Lizzie continued talking, you took the chance to kick off your shoes and wiggle your toes to the warm sand. Oh, that's so nice. "Nice, huh? In this neighborhood, I'm the only one who comes up with the ideas." "You are?" Cove says. "Yeah, I am. Who else would handle the job?" "Lizzie's the oldest," Shiloh says. "By a lot. My mom said you're Ziki's age." "Yeah," Cove says. "Thought so. I'm still the only one in the group with double digits." Oh, so she's like above 10 years old, so we're still 8. And I believe Shiloh is even younger than us, as far as I know. So what about the other kids, Cove says. "Other kids? There aren't any. We're the only kids here, and Shiloh is just visiting from another place." "Oh, so Shiloh is just one of those recurring tourists that come over here each summer? So not even tourists really bring their kids here. This is the land of ancients. Be careful that the oldies don't try to steal your youth." Oh, for a second it looked like he might cry again. "Oh no, don't cry." But something in his eyes shifted and he looked back at Lizzie. "What kind of old people? Like moms and dads or grandparents?" "Grandparents who don't have kids. They hate kids." "Why? We haven't done anything wrong." Yeah, by the way, we do have loads and loads of choices in this game, I forgot to mention, which I'm super duper excited about, honestly. So we have a choice between only some of them don't like kids. Stop saying stuff like that, you're gonna upset him, or yeah, they're really bad. I'm gonna say only some of them don't like the kids. You interjected quickly, hoping Lizzie wouldn't take things too far. Cove sniffled, his forehead creasing with worry. Lizzie was staring Cove down, but Cove wasn't even looking at her anymore. He didn't seem to care that she was there. He went into his own head. Shiloh was the next one to speak, completely unaware of the situation. I met Lizzie and Ziki in school. You'll see a ton of kids there once summer is over." "I don't want to go to a new school. I don't want summer to end at all." Shiloh looked down at the dirt. He hasn't had much luck striking up conversations with Cove. I like summer vacation a lot too. All the building tension in the air suddenly vanished when Lizzie laughed. At Shiloh's discomfort at how weird she thought Cove was, at something else entirely, you didn't really know, but she laughed, face crunching up. Welcome to Sunset Bird Cove. Take us. Also, the name of the town is Sunset Bird. I keep forgetting that. I keep thinking it's like Sunset Beach or whatever, but it's Sunset Bird. So take a seat, pull up your feet, and get used to it. Put up your feet and get used to it. Wow, he says. You offered him a small smile at that, at least. Looked to reassure him some. Yeah, we are going that path of like, oh, for the rest of the summer, Cove was always there. You saw him more often than Shiloh, and on some days when she was in a bad mood or busy, you even saw him more than Lizzie. He became a staple of your everyday life the way sun and lunch and the beach were. Oh, during your first summer together you really liked Cove. He was a fun person to play with, and he seemed to like playing with you too. Of course, that was only the start of things. Oh, we can select a moment here. Oh my god, okay, we're gonna go through all of the moments. I really want to do that. So let me just save this game really quickly over here. And I'm just gonna go the first one. We're gonna go by order here, by order actually. So we're gonna go shopping first, and so far I have only chosen like a neutral comfort level with Cove, a relaxed neutral comfort level, or like fondness actually. So we do have little choices here in the game that like with little you can select whether you like him, whether you have a crush on him, whether you love him at the end, which is still actually a locked option because we aren't that far into the game yet. So Cove's dad says, "Come back before it gets dark, alright, sport?" The familiar voice drifted across the street and drew your attention away from the snail you had been watching inch slowly across the pavement. And here we have Cove's dad, of course. He is very like a typical surfer dude, I would say. So Cove waited in front of his dad, pushing his green hair back off his face from where the breeze was blowing it over his glasses. He looked to be paying only a mild amount of attention as he was being handed a few slips of green paper. It reminded you of when you had first met Mr. Holden, although he's probably not paying Cove to be friends with himself. Oh yeah, actually, Mr. Holden, Cove's dad, when we first met him, he was being a little bit creepy and even offered us money to be friends with Cove, which we declined, obviously. But we went and became friends with Cove anyway. So Cove's dad seemed to feel your gaze somehow, or maybe you made a noise because a second later his eyes were on you. He waved you over with a smile. He looked happy to see you, but you still felt a little weird for getting caught. You've got to learn how to be more sneaky. You brushed your hands together to free them of sand, then jogged over to join the two, smiling at Cove first and then his dad. Ziki, hi! Good to see you again. What excitement are you up to today? What? Wait a minute, that sentence did not make sense to me. What excitement are you up to today, Ziki? Taking a walk, you know. I found a pretty cool snail across the road. There's lots of snails around here. Mr. Holden grinned at you kindly. After you finished answering the question, Mr. Holden's attention returned to Cove, who was preoccupied with folding the bills he had into a tiny rectangle. Sounds fun. You know Cove was about to hit the stores by the beach. Why don't you go with him? You gave a ready nod, turning to squint in the direction of the stores, like you could see the goods they had to offer all the way from where you stood. Oh, is that okay? I don't mind. Great, I'm sure you guys will have loads of fun. Mr. Holden reached into his pocket and pulled out a leather wallet filled with money. You found it odd since your mom only ever seemed to have cards in theirs. Here. He leaned in to pass a crisp $10 to Cove, giving him a wink and a whisper. Get something for your friend too, Cove's dad says. Sure. That's my boy, yeah. So Cove's dad ruffled his son's hair as he was straightening back up. The bill in his hand still held out towards the green-haired boy. Take care. Cove accepted the bill after a second and slipped into his pocket. Then with one last nod to his dad, he turned and started walking. You followed after him, intrigued at the possibilities that this outing might bring. Okay. So Cove straight towards the gentle tide creeping up the sand, and you fell into place beside him. It was a nice day. The sun was shining and there weren't many clouds in the sky, though the wind coming off the ocean kept it from being too hot. You took in a deep breath, enjoying the scent of salt and ocean air. That's so relaxing. Like, living by the beach is just so relaxing, so nice, so pleasant, you know. So when you looked at Cove, he was dragging his feet through the sand a little, and you slowed down to wait for him. His eyes searched the ground intently. Oh, we can say... Oh, we have a choice here. And if you guys remember in the previous episode, we showed Cove our huge, actually, I don't know if it's huge, but our collection of seashells. And the Cove was super duper excited to see that, and he was like really intrigued by it. So I'm gonna ask him, are you looking for shells? Cove startled a little at the sound of your voice and mumbled, sort of. If you see any, you can let me know. You could manage that. You dropped your view to the sand, walking carefully so you didn't step on any. You were good at finding shells. You had a lot of them at home and always found new ones whenever you visited the beach. The comforting sound of the waves filled the silence with pleasant white noise, and you played a little game with yourself as you walked along, getting as close to the water as possible without getting wet. It resulted in you having to run up the sand quickly when a wave rushed in more than a few times, and although Cove threw a few glances your way, he didn't say a word really. We can say... what do you usually do on the beach, or what did you want to go to the shops for? I'm not gonna be silent because I really want to make conversation with Cove. I want to like first create a friendship with him, because I think he's like a really cute kid, you know, he's like very like innocent. So I'm gonna say, what did you want to go to the shops for? I need a new sand pail. Yeah, what happened to your old one? Cove narrowed his eyes, seeming to think deeply for a second. Well, it disappeared. What, really? Cove let his head down, placing his fingers behind his back. It didn't seem like he was going to continue, so he nudged his arm. How did that happen? Well... Cove opened his mouth, then shut it again, considering. I took it to the beach one day. Uh-huh. When I got home, it wasn't anywhere. You left it there. Nope, it wasn't at the beach when I went back. Then you lost it. It disappeared, Cove says. What about you? What do you do out here? Oh, we can say I don't come to the beach a lot, which I think I'm gonna say that we do go to the beach a lot, so I'm gonna say I like to build sand castles, maybe. Last summer, Lizzie and I built one that was as tall as me, and sometimes they have sandcastle building competitions down by the boardwalk. Cool, I bet you could win. You smiled at Cove. Maybe the two of you would build one together one day. Yeah, once you reached the shopping area, the noise level grew exponentially. No longer just waves, and by the way, I'm really like digging the music here. Hope I don't get like copy striked or whatever, because I really love the music. I don't want to have to stop it. So no longer just waves and footsteps, but the chatter of people enjoying the lovely summer day, the call of birds trying to find bits of food left behind, and lots of salespeople trying to get attention. You sniffed the air as you walked beside Cove. You could still smell the ocean, but there were other scents now too. Pizza, pretzels, hot donuts, and... we can say it's nice or it's alright. I'm gonna say it's nice, yeah. The energy surrounding the area seemed to fill you, and there was a bounce in your step as you began looking at all the familiar sights. There were so many things to do, you didn't know where to begin. You looked at Cove, hoping he was just as excited as you were. So Cove was dancing from one side of the street to the other with a look in his aquamarine eyes that you couldn't quite work out. What's that? Cove pointed out to a large crowd of people gathered near a few tables with large colorful umbrellas blooming from their middles. You couldn't see past the adults who were blocking the way, but you knew there must be something worth seeing. Without another word, the two of you hurried over to see what all the commotion was about. Amazing Alexander! Feast your eyes on the Amazing Alexander! What was that, like a magic show or whatever? In the center of the crowd was a man with a tall hat and a funny green coat that had 3 long tails. There was a little table next to him with a cloth hanging over it that read The Amazing Alexander in a glittery golden script. Why tell people his name if he's already on a sign? Cove came to with understanding, then turned to walk away just as the Amazing Alexander began shuffling a deck of cards. So he is a magician, dude. Oh my god. So maybe we could stay and watch? Cove glanced back to the man. He then briefly lifted his arms above his sides before returning them to place. Okay, so you grinned, waving for him to follow you as you raced back to stand in the crowd. With that, it began. The magic man pulled one card out of the deck, showing it to the curious onlookers. It was a 4 of diamonds. Watch closely, says the Amazing Alexander. You did, squeezing through a few of the adult onlookers to get a better view. Suddenly, the man snapped his fingers and the card just disappeared. Whoa, we say. Cove is like unimpressed a little bit. The Amazing Alexander, who had earned his title, turned his head and looked directly at you. He reached out with a kind smile. What's this behind your ear? I'm gonna say, tell me. This had to be going somewhere and you needed to find out. He smelled like popcorn and candy when he stepped in closer. It was great. You felt a tug and then he pulled the 4 of diamonds out from behind your ear. What? You knew that it couldn't really have come from your ear, but you still didn't get how he had done it. There was light applause from the crowd and the man gave a deep bow. This is for you, he says. The magician plucked a pair of balloons from a clump of them tied down to his table. Both were in the shape of a dolphin instead of being a regular circle. And one for your friend too. Thank you for being my assistant. Wow. Now you were really grateful he chose you. After that he went to someone else in the crowd. Pick a card, any card. So, my uncle does that every time he visits. Not the balloon, the stuff with the cards. Cove spoke plainly while reaching over to take the dolphin that had been designated for him. I'm gonna say Cove is just ruining the fun. No, I don't think so. Maybe it wasn't so special. At least you had a fun time and you wondered if Cove's whole family was magic. I'm gonna say at least you had a fun time. You saw a magic trick and you got a great balloon. That was more than enough to make it a worthwhile event. You thought that if you could find the card to practice with, maybe you could make it disappear too. Yeah, maybe, you know, it's not like real magic, you know, it's just a little sleight of hand and tricks and stuff. So the crowd started to clear some, and you noticed at the side there was a whole rack of brightly colored kaleidoscopes on display. Ooh, we can walk past the toys because we do have some work to do at the shops, but we can also pick up a magic 8-ball, a Rubik's Cube, or a kaleidoscope. I'm gonna pick up a Rubik's Cube because I think it's something we're gonna like and something that Cove is gonna like as well. So, oh, these are cool, we say. Will you hold my balloon while I look at this? Cove nodded, taking your balloon and holding it in the same hand as his own so you could get a good grip on the cube. He stood next to you and watched as you attempted to match the colored rows. You managed to line up all the green squares on the one side of the cube, but there was still 5 more sides to go. Deciding that it was something that you should continue another time, you set the cube back on the rack and took your balloon from Cove, who moved to the other side of the stall. Okay, so he went under the awning. Awning? What is an awning? I'm not sure actually. Careful, wait, let me just check this. What is an awning? What is an awning? A roof-like cover extended over to the front of a place. Okay, so that's like, I know what that is. That's like one of these, wait, what is it? These things over here. Can you guys see this blue thing in the left side here? Okay, so, careful of his own floating dolphin and you joined him. I'm gonna say, are you having fun? Yeah, I'm gonna say are you having fun. He nodded and you smiled back at him, happy to hear it. When Cove moved towards some stalls nearby, you followed beside him. Oh, these are so cute! They have little turtles and dolphins and little crabs and sharks. So while Cove looked at sand pails, you were drawn to a table with colorful keychains laid out on it. They were sewn in the shape of sea creatures, and there was a plaque that read "Handmade" standing proudly in front. There were lots of different types. You saw a dolphin, a shark, a crab, and a turtle. I'm gonna pick up, I'm not sure this choice is gonna be like meaningful, if it's gonna impact some later events on the game. But let's just pick up the turtle, I think. So, your hand stopped on the sleeping turtle, just barely poking its head out of its shell. It had flecks of metallic green on its back that caught the sunlight when you picked it up. You remembered that for the turtles you had seen in the movie, you had been mesmerized by the way they gently glided through the water. You were instantly enamored. So checking the price though your heart fell, $6. You didn't know much about money, but you thought it was a lot to spend on one thing. Yeah, that's true. You really had more than a $5 bill to your name. Is that what you want? Cove asks. Huh? Oh. It's $6. I didn't bring any money. It's fine. No, I'm gonna say you don't have to. Cove didn't mind that. He took the keychain from your hands and that was that. He was holding a small yellow bucket for himself too. I was always gonna get you something. I already got the money for it. Oh my god, that's so cute. You smile, pleased to have things work out. It was nice of Cove's dad to let Cove buy something for you too. You had to remember to thank him next time you saw him. Yeah, I'm gonna actually remember that in case we have a choice to do so, because like it's a good, nice, real nice gesture, I believe. So after Cove paid, the two of you stepped out of the store side by side, your balloon dolphins looking together and spiraling around in the air. You watched Cove hold up his new pail to his face, examining it thoroughly. And I wonder what he's gonna say, because we're gonna end this episode here, guys. Please subscribe if you wanna see some more gameplay of Our Life Beginnings, and always, more videos are coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. And please leave a like, that really helps me out. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.